Hello everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Chris Yi.
And we're here live with you all talking about the most and least checked out games. Dice Tower East, we have stats on that. Wendy put them together for us. We have a nice checkout system. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about that. A lot of different things here. We'll give you the most checked out and talk about some other stuff. And if you have questions in chat, ask them and maybe we'll get to some of those too. But a couple caveats here. First of all, there were many games that were not checked out a lot because they were on hot games tables or our dexterity games. They might have been the most played games.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So in the little intro video clip there, you saw the
Pirate Billiards.
Pirate Billiards, you hit the ball, launch it and stuff. All of those.
That and Crokinole were played a ton.
Clask was the other one that was played a ton, kind of right in that front area. So
of course, that also has something to do with where you put them, right? Those, the Jenga was played a lot.
Right.
The skee ball one that Eric found out was curling most of the way through the con. And then we had hot games. You have the list of the hot games?
I only got through part of them.
Well, let's see if I can.
Yeah,
let's see if I can do it right. Okay, so there's the video game, which is called Video Game Hero or
Video Game Champion.
Video Game Champion. That and World Wonders, we didn't even announce would be there. People didn't know about them. So those are the two from Brazil that we added at the last second. But then we had 2 copies of Earth, because we figured that would be the most popular game at the con. And spoiler alert, pretty popular, considering it's going to show up on our list somewhere, and there were 2 copies on the hot games table. Then we had Heat. We briefly set up Star Wars Rebellion. Nobody played it. But they looked at it. It was cool.
One group played it.
Oh, they did play it?
Yeah, that was fun to see with the giant planets and everything.
But
it was one group for the whole day.
Sure, we only left it up for one day. Then Beyond the Sun, we set up with some cool components, and that one was not played a ton, but it was played a decent amount, and definitely probably subtracted from the Beyond the Sun.
The checkouts.
The checkouts.
The library, yeah.
We had Federation. We had the Last Light. That was the only copy of Last Light. Every other copy, Last Light, World Wonders,
and Video Game Champion.
And Video Game Champion and Expeditions from Stonemaier were the only games that they were only in the hot games room. All the rest had copies elsewhere. So like we had a copy of Heat out on the hot games table, but we also had a copy of Heat and in the library.
Thunder Road, Vendetta.
Thunder Road, well, all the other games.
Wayfarers and Distilled, I think were the last few of them.
And if we forgot some, we'll have them pop up when I'm like, oh, that's right, that was in there. So when we put this list together, we have 3 lists here. We have this one here, which we'll go over last, which is the actual games that were checked out. We have sets of games, which was like families of games. That will actually be the last thing we talk about. And then I have this big giant list here called games not checked out. Now, as a caveat, and I want to make this clear, and I want the word on this to spread. You cannot check a game out and then check it back in real quickly to keep me from taking it out of the library. One checkout doesn't faze me. Even a few checkouts. In fact, if I see 5 checkouts, I'm going to go look and see who did it and how long the game was checked out. We have that information too. Just because a game was not checked out does not mean it's out of the library, because otherwise, well, half our library would be gone. You can't get how many were not checked out. Do you have that info?
How many were? Yeah, I can look at it.
So, anywho.
Someone also mentions that there was After Us and what's the robot one?
Oh, After Us, yes, was in the library, and the Robot Showdown, I can never remember the name of that game.
That's funny, you liked it, but yeah, just the name escapes me. 788 games were never checked out.
All right, so we're going to show you some of the ones that we are surprised that weren't checked out. Here's one that Chris likes. Aladdin's Dragons.
That was never checked out.
It was not.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I didn't get around to checking it out. I feel like I'm usually the person who does.
Sure. So yeah, there's a ton of different games here. I'm going through alphabetical order that were not checked out. And some of these I look at and I go, yeah, they're probably not going to make it in the future. But some I'm like, I'm surprised no one played this one.
Oh, you never got around to checking out Adventureland.
This is one of the first cons where that happened, right? Because so no one played Adventureland?
It doesn't. Yeah, it looks like no. It's on the not checked out list.
Well, oops, that's not the right Adventureland.
Ooh, that looks good.
Turn a poorly running theme park into a prosperous moving theme park. No, this is the one. Yeah, I give this one a 9. I love Adventureland.
It's really good. I need to play it again. It's been years.
I also don't hold it against games that are not checked out that often, in a sense that it's new is hot, right? You can say whatever you want. We were talking about Starship Catan was one that was not checked out at all. Interestingly enough, a new game that was not checked out, or a reprint of a game that was not checked out, was Carnival Zombie. This is the second edition of it, and this one seems to have landed with a bit of a dud. Considering this just came out, you figure somebody would have checked it out.
Right. Big Kickstarters get played a lot.
Ooh! No one played Caverna?
Really? Caverna, the Cave Farmers. Right above,
That's it.
Right above Kalis, also with no checkouts.
Although I don't see Kalis. Look up the other Kalis, because there's the new Kalis, and I don't see that there. It's Kalis.
Do you have both?
I do have Kalis 1303 or whatever it's called.
One checkout. It saved it from the library.
Yeah, well, hey, that works like that. And yeah, someone just mentioned in the comments there's only so many people and so much time. Sure. And we understand that. No one checked out chess, by the way.
It's fading. Dropping like a stone.
See, now this one no one checked out, and I wish some people would. And that's Clue the Great Museum Caper. Let me see if I can find it here. You know, we keep telling people to check this one out. It looks like a kid's game. And I mean, it sort of is a kid's game in many ways, but it's like Scotland Yard.
It's a good hidden movement game. Very simple, but man, it's really good. Maybe I'll pull that out of the retreat or something. Yeah, some event where I get to pull that one out. That's good.
Let's see. The Combat Commanders stuff was not checked out. Cosmic Encounter was checked out, but Cosmic Encounter Duel, not. Let's see. Cry Havoc. Well, I guess that's the end of that one. If you haven't seen Cry Havoc, it's a really cool game from Portal Games. A nice asymmetrical game, and if you like Pandora, not Pandora. Is it called Pandora? The Avatar world?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pandora. That world. This is very similar to that.
I don't know why I know that. I'm a huge Avatar.
I'm also not a huge Avatar fan, but I just watched the newest one.
Got it, yeah. The newest movie where they're like, hey, remember that last movie where all we cared about was unobtainium? No, forget about that now. It's been 6 months, we care about something different.
Now, Mike said it's culling season, but it's actually not culling season because, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. I did come back and cull like 10 games instantly. They were new games that were on the shelves that no one played. That's an instant culling. If you're new and no one plays you, that's out. But we have time now to look at the games. It's kind of a slow process here. I threw tons of games onto the new shelves at the very end. I don't have to worry about that now. It will be culling seasons from here to the cruise, but after the cruise is where we make our biggest culling to come up to the next Dice Tower East.
Sure.
All right, continuing on. Games no one played. Oh, no one played Dominations? That's unfortunate. Dominations is a really good game. And it's the kind of game that would be good at a con. You have not played this one yet, have you?
I've not, no.
I think you would like it, actually.
Okay.
It is a Civ building game, but it's more of a tech tree type thing. This part of the game is boring. This part, building the wonders of the world, and these boxes are full of like, I don't know, 60 to 80 different techs, and you can build all the different techs.
Okay, that part sounds really enticing.
It really is cool.
Like, that's what's great about Beyond the Sun, right? Like,
you build these techs, and then you get bonuses if you put different gems next to each other. Well, you have to connect gems of the same color, but you also get bonuses for doing so, and they give you the different things, and you can also flip the tech to make the tech better. They all level 2s.
Oh, man. I could see why this looks really heady. Because you have to remember all of that tech stuff, right?
I kind of only want to play it at 2, unfortunately.
Got it.
Because there is a lot of downtime to it.
You might not be shocked about this, but Joan of Arc, the Orleans Roll-In Right, didn't get, Draw-In Right, didn't get checked out a single time.
Huh. Did someone just thumb me down for... I did not check out the games.
You did not check out the games, though, Tom. You did not.
I don't even know. I'm confused now. Yeah, this is a. I have not played this one. You like this one though, right?
Yeah, Wendy and I both enjoy this one quite a bit. I think Joey likes it too. It has a lot of the feels, the board part of Orleans, but it doesn't have the bag building. It's drafting though. I like drafting in a roll and write game. So
so many of these games.
Yeah,
they're making this list is making me sad.
Kung Fu Zoo got checked out 0 times.
Well, that's on you. That's your game to check out.
I guess so.
Neither Lifeboat nor Lifeboats was checked out. And if you're confused about that, let's take a look at them. First, we have Lifeboat. You're all a character on a raft trying to throw each other off. It's pretty mean and vicious. Unlike Lifeboats, where you're on lots of rafts and throwing lots of people off. They're very different games, but they're both super mean.
Which one's more mean and vicious?
Probably Lifeboats.
The one we're looking at right now?
Yeah. It doesn't look mean, though. Looks like a kid's game.
I gotta tell you, for some reason, I hate mean games. I hate that type of stuff. But I really want to try this one.
I think it's not... Okay, so this one has never bothered me too much because it's not a very long game, and you go in knowing you're chucking people. It's not like there's a game and you can also be mean in it. No, being mean is just a game.
Sure.
Someone's going to get thrown out, and there's like laughter about it. Like, I lose this every time. I just don't care.
Okay.
Mice and Mystics didn't get checked out.
It doesn't really seem like a convention game, though.
No, you're right, but I like having these games in the library so people can look at them.
Yeah. Mombasa had 0 checkouts.
No one checked out Nothing Personal. It's time to pull that piece of garbage out of the library. Oh, look at this one. This one didn't get checked out. On Mars.
That's funny. I know that there's a few groups of attendees that we have that are like the Lacerda fans. I think I saw...
They were busy playing Hegemony.
You know?
Hegemony is like the new Lacerda game. It's not really.
Yeah.
But people like... I don't know how many times Hegemony was checked out. We'll look at that in a bit. But I know people were playing that. That's the new game of the hot gamers, I suppose. Of the heavier gamers.
No Touch Kraken didn't get checked out. That's probably one we'd have to push more because... Nobody knows what No Touch Kraken is, right? That's just the...
No Touch Kraken.
That's that foreign edition that we have of...
Yeah, I bought it solely based on the name. It's the... Well, let's just look it up here.
Yeah, what game is that? Sherlock?
No Touch Kraken. Don't Mess with Cthulhu.
Don't Mess with... Yeah, that's the one.
Which was a re-theme of Time Bomb.
Time Bomb. That's what I'm thinking of.
But this is the version we got because we just think the name is great. No Touch Kraken!
Well, the fact they got Vincent Dutray to do that, because that's like not just a font, right? He clearly had to draw that in. No Touch Kraken. That's what they wanted. I love it.
Panic on Wall Street. No one played the Pop-Tarts game. I think that would be a game people would pull out. No one played Queen's Necklace. Quad Heroes. Well, that's a kind of an odd one. I mean, the second edition of that is coming out soon. I thought people would at least want to pull it out. This is one of the ones that we have with the little painted dudes in it.
Oh, yeah. The little guys.
It's kind of a Robo-Rally type game.
They're like cubes, right? And they roll around.
Yeah, so depending on what side they're on, you'll get a bonus or something. Here's another one that didn't get checked out that I'm surprised about, and that's Rows and Boats. Because I figured this would be like a convention-style game that people would pull out and play.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we have several of those Splotter games, and so much stuff gets picked out, gets played at East. So much more than any of the other conventions, right?
Yeah, but see, at conventions where some big games get played. So here's another one that I thought would get played, and this is Star Trek Ascendancy. Okay. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this game, but it's definitely, look, it's ranked 599 on Board Game Geek. And it's the kind of game I think that people would want to play.
Right. I just don't know. I mean, when you come to a big convention like this, we saw several tables playing TI4. We saw several people playing Eclipse. I think that this one just hasn't broken through to the same level.
It hasn't because I think, frankly, it's not as good as those games. But it's also, Star Trek is not the kind of universe that's necessarily built for combat anyway. There's some in it, but it's more about exploration.
Right.
Okay, lots of the Ticket to Ride map packs were not checked out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's most of them. Markland, Poland. No one checked out. Ticket to Ride 6.5. That is Poland, right?
Yeah, that one's the half one. You should. Poland's a solid map. Small.
It is. Yeah. See, that's to me. That's something I would do at a con. And I put those maps in there because if you like Ticket to Ride, and you're like, I'm curious what the new maps would be like. That would be your chance to do them. Oh, and Zombicides. Okay. So this is interesting to me. So if you look up Zombicide here on Board Game Geek, you're going to see a ton of different ones. So in our library, we have Zombicide 2nd Edition, which was not checked out. We have Zombicide Black Plague, which was not checked out. We have Zombicide Marvel, which must have been checked out because it's not in this list.
That one's Marvel Zombies.
Marvel Zombies. That one has to
have been.
Yeah.
Sure.
Zombicide. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that. Zombicide Invader, the space one, was also not checked out. And I reduced it down to, I didn't want too many Zombicide games in. I think I took out Green Horde and Night of the Living Dead. That one is not on here either. So that one must have been played too. Can you check that one?
If you're watching in the chat, I'm actually curious your thoughts, right? So how many total Zombicide games do we have then?
We have 4, I think. 4 or 5, maybe 5.
4 or 5.
Someone asked about Indonesia. Indonesia is in the library, and Indonesia was not checked out.
Do you think, I'm curious what the chat thinks. If you go to a convention, there's 4 Zombicides. Do you feel like that's too many? Right, 4 different ones. Invader, Marvel, I assume we still have Black Plague or Green Horde or something, right?
We have Black Plague. I don't think we have Green Horde.
Night of the Living Dead. I wonder if that feels like too many.
All right, let's see. How many games were checked out one time?
Also, several of the T games I noticed. Tawantin Suyu and...
Wait, Tawantin Suyu was not checked out?
It was not checked out, yeah.
Well, I think it's the worst of them, so...
and then the newest one, or Tabanusi wasn't checked out, but...
And I can see on here Tekkenu was not checked out. Chad says, contrary to Simon's belief, zombies are getting really old. Well, I don't know. They do make millions in each Kickstarter, so I don't know if I could say that for sure. It just might not be. It might not be played at a con too much.
Right. And someone else asked also, are there do we have a method of stickers that say Tom Vasel recommended games, stuff like that? We make those lists in the con books. Yeah, so in the con book you can flip through and it has the library all alphabetized, but then also there's a page that says, hey, top 10 games if you have 5 players. And so we do make recommendations there, and I could see that affecting some of the checkouts for sure.
By the way, most of the Tiny Epic games were not checked out. But again, I think that's because they're small games and people just play them at home and not at a con.
Yeah.
So I'm looking through the ones here, and honestly, I put the ones on the same level as the zeros because, it got checked out once. TI4 was only checked out once. But I think that's a game that people who play will bring their own.
I imagine, yeah. Trismegistus, another T game, it was only checked out one time. Several of the others were checked out none times.
Yeah, Marco Polo was only checked out once. Oh, here's the other Ticket to Ride map packs. 6 and 7 were checked out once. Amsterdam was checked out once. Europe was checked out once. Nordic countries was checked out once. Yes. We have an entire shelf. Of Ticket to Rides. Play them. Pictures, which won the Spiel des Jahres. I still think that is now my worst Spiel des Jahres pick.
Worst?
Pictures. Worse than
Dorf Romantic.
See, I don't have as big of a problem with Dorf Romantic because I know people will like it.
I don't think Dorf Romantic is I don't think it's a bad game. I don't like the idea of play until you beat your score and then play for more points.
I agree. I'm not interested in that, but I think people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
Pictures, I was like, what on earth? This is like a mass market game. But speaking of that, here's another Spiel des Jahres that got played one time, Mississippi Queen. My Little Scythe was played one time.
Okay.
Nexus Op was only played once.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Did you say how many games were checked out once?
Let me check that.
Because there are several pages of ones.
Stockpile was only checked out once too. That's very good, very approachable game. 400 38 games were checked out once.
Oh, man. What about games that were checked out twice? Because that's also pretty big.
Hey, Critical Mass Raijin versus Archon was checked out once.
Yay!
That might be the first time in a while.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of skip over 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s and jump to 5s. But later on, if you ask us how many times the game was played, we can tell you.
Oops, I didn't prep this. Okay, so how many games got played 2 times is the question. And that is 261 games.
All right, so let's take a look here at some of the 5s. Because these are ones I'm interested in. I'm like, hey, people are playing these. And so just in case you think the T games are all getting abused, Toletum was checked out 5 times.
Absolutely, yep.
There's Ticket to Ride, checked out 5 times, and Ticket to Ride Northern Lights.
Oh, okay. That's one of the newest ones, I guess, right?
Yeah, so yay for that. Here's one that may surprise everyone, that it was only checked out twice. And that's Terraforming Mars. Now, I have the big box edition, so that's kind of maybe overwhelming to people. But
yeah. Hey, a game that got checked out 5 times, Doodle Dash. That makes me happy. Doodle Dash is
did you check it out 5 times?
I checked it out 0 times. But yeah, that's such a good, fun little doofy game.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was glad to see the party games were getting checked out. I was happy about that. It's not always happened in the past, and people were playing party games. I'm looking here at the 5s. Oh, there's Marvel Zombies. Marvel Zombies was checked out 5 times.
Yes.
My Little Everdell was checked out 5 times. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Here's kind of a not super old, but a game that was checked out multiple times, and that is Number 9.
Yes. That classic.
Yeah, this is if you've never seen this game, it's a game where you're stacking polyomino numbers on top of each other. It looks just like this.
Yeah, that classic title, Numabur. No, this is one I've never played, but I'm intrigued by, but also I feel like I'm fine having never played it in my life.
Well, conveniently, someone just asked a question about, was Catan 3D checked out? And yes, it was. It was checked out 5 times. That makes me happy that someone got out the big Catan and played it.
Oh, the big deluxe one that we have?
We have a playthrough of Catan 3D that we will publish in the year 2023.
I'm working on it.
No, that was not a site. I'm just saying it's coming.
I forgot what year it was. I was like, I'll get to it this year.
Oh. It is 2023 still. Ooh, Basketball got played. I think that helps that there's the new all-play version.
Okay, yeah.
I just wrote Basket Box. That's not going to give me anything. That's because the X is right below the S for those who don't know how to type. Wow. Oh, I see. It was re-implemented. They don't have them in the same thing. Yeah, if you don't like basketball, you can still like this game. It's a nice little auction game.
I do need to try that one.
So under the 6, we have Undaunted Normandy and Undaunted Battle of Britain. The Undaunteds were checked out. Ooh, and Time's Up. Title Recall.
Actually, that.
And Wavelength. Party games were added.
So Undaunted combined has 12, huh?
Well, Undaunted combined has...
Do we have a lot of Undaunteds in the library?
No, I think just those 2.
Just those 2, okay.
We might have Undaunted, North Africa, what's that called? Well, I could just look it up here.
Wow.
The other Undaunted is, North Africa.
Okay, let me see. That was checked out 2 times. So
total 14. So the Undaunted franchise is at 14. Remember that later when we talk about franchises.
I'm making note of that, actually.
All right, we're in the 6s now. Project Elite was checked out 6 times, and I'm glad to say that I taught one of those times. So that was fun.
6 times, really?
Yeah, it's a great game to play.
It's a great convention game.
Scooby-Doo was checked out 6 times. Sleeping God. Ooh, I am very pleased about this, and I saw this. There's one one person, I'm sorry I forgot your name, who every year checks out the Small World Designer Edition. It looks like this, but painted. It's amazing. Checked out 6 times. That's good.
Mike DeLisio makes a good point. We're not going to be able to track games that other people brought and played and stuff.
No, we can't.
Or that were purchased there, because Expeditions was played all over the place because MeepleSource booth was selling it.
That's true. That's true. We are only going by the library, so.
Yeah, checkouts. Oh, Deep Rock Galactic got checked out 6 times. That's great.
Sugar Circuit, do you think you'll have Gen Con released at the World Series of Board Games? Well, I might bring a few with me in my suitcases. We'll see. We'll see how life is going there. Oh, I should say I always bring games with me. I don't know why I'm pretending I don't.
Switch and Signal checked out 6 times. That makes me happy. That's one that I definitely champion one day.
Well, this one I'm very surprised was checked out, and that is Brian Boru, High King of Ireland. I like this game, but it's a trick-taking area control game. I didn't expect that one to do well. Oh, and Blood Rage is back on. I don't know if you remember the lack of checkouts for Blood Rage last year. I think people were were incensed by that. They flew into a rage. So Blood Rage was checked out 6 times, as was Ascension, Alhambra. Feast for Odin is still probably.
Do you see it on there, or?
I do. I see it there.
7.
So Feast for Odin was 6.
Oh, okay.
Le Havre was 7. And Le Havre is now down to 1 copy. I finally stopped being a dork about it. But I'm saying Caverna was not checked out. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you like Le Havre, I think you would like Caverna.
So what you're saying is that Uwe Rosenberg has fallen from grace.
Well, no, we just said 7 and 6.
No, that's garbage checkout.
What's his newest game?
Atiwa.
Yeah, no, I don't think that one was going to be checked out that much. I am wrong. 10 times.
Wow.
Okay, what's his second newest game?
Oranian.
It's the one where you're moving the stones.
Whoa! I wouldn't expect that. Oranienburger Canal. 7 checkouts.
Oh, no, that's his newest game.
That is his newest, yeah.
7 checkouts. I haven't played that. Did you play it, you said?
I only soloed it. I want to play it at 2. It's a 2-player game. You know what I mean?
It's only 2-player?
Yeah. What's the stone one? Uwe's.
Hang on. List of notable games down here. It is Hallertau.
Hallertau? Probably not checked out.
If you don't know what Hallertau is, let me click that for you so you can see it.
Yeah, that was checked out 0 times.
Huh. And I upgraded this one. Come on, folks. I pay for these upgrades. Alrighty, moving on. Tiny Towns was I'm sorry.
Oh, Andy says here, definitely saw a 6 or 7 player game of Caverna being played, but it might have been someone's copy.
No, okay. Good.
Except for the 7-player game part.
I played it once at 7, and I didn't think it was horrible.
That's
not a glowing recommendation. I get it. It's still long, but I thought it would be like abysmal. It's not so bad.
Interesting.
And I played many 5-player games of it, which is more than I'll play of most Euro games.
That's true. Le Havre, for example.
I won't play Le Havre with more than 3. Orleans got checked out 6 times. So did Paladins of the West Kingdom.
You know what I'm curious about is Scythe Regular was checked out 4 times. Scythe Big Box was checked out 7. So that's a combined 11. Which is impressive for the fact that Expeditions was being sold there.
Yeah, I know.
In the hot games
People are like, what Scythe? What Scythe? And just as if a reminder, if you've not seen our review of Expeditions, Scythe is nothing like Expeditions other than same universe, same art. There's not much more. There's a minor scoring thing that's similar.
Right.
Now here's one that I said was not great, but a lot of people were playing Oak 7 times. So I'll eat my words on that. I haven't rated this one here. Let me give it a nice little 5 there. There you go.
A nice little 5, not a rude one.
No, it is. I'm not the only person, I think, to give it that rating. But I'm sure, again, let's look at the ratings. Yeah, there's a lot of 8s. I'm in the minority here. Only 46 other people have given it a 5. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Rhino Hero Giant Edition is played, of course. People like pulling that out one. That's a big giant one. This one I'm never surprised to see. You talk about consistency and checking out Nemesis. Whoa, did you know Nemesis was up to 19 on Board Game Geek?
Yeah, it's really high up there.
Wow. Because it's rare for a sprawling game.
Sprawling. I don't want to, not fragile as an insult, but you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of...
You can have a straight up bad game of Nemesis.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Even people who like Nemesis will say that. They'll be like, things just didn't go our way. And people still like it that much. So go figure.
Are we moving on to the 8s?
I'm just jumping around now. Mountain Goats got played 7 times, but that's not a surprise. Probably got played more than that since All Play was there demoing it.
Right.
Hegemony was played 7 times.
Plus
the ones people brought.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely a game people would say, oh, I'll bring this game and play it because I'm sure it won't, whatever. This is the kind of game that if you love it, you love it.
I saw on the exact same table at one night, I saw a group of people playing it. When I walked in the next morning, it was on the exact same table, but a different group of 4 people.
Yeah, maybe they switched out. Who knows?
I don't know.
For 8, happily, this one makes me happy. It makes Chris and Wendy happy too. Star Wars Queen's Gambit, mostly Wendy, because she painted the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's like this, but pretty. All painted. That was played 8 times.
Gizmos and Gutenberg. Oh, Iggy, one of the Kennerspiel nominees, was checked out 8 times.
We just got the expansion for that. We haven't even cracked the box.
Akebono. Yeah. We're busy.
Oh, I know. We have so many games.
Yeah.
Gutenberg was still played 8 times. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Mosaic is up there with 8 as well.
Ooh, Dominion. Dominion was checked out 8 times.
And then one of the other boxes of Dominion was checked out once.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I'm gonna have to put a page in a book advertise. We should do some advertisements pages play Dominion, because what I did is I made 5 boxes of Dominion. It's 5, right?
There's 4 or 5. I think you put the 5th one.
And I don't even care. I'm not checking this out, even though they weren't checked out.
3 of the boxes.
That would be on this list, right?
Yeah, 3 of the boxes were
Intrigue, Menagerie, Plunder, and Hinterlands. They were not checked out.
And that's because they were expansion-looking boxes.
Right, but they're all Dominion. They're all Dominion. I put the base cards in each one. They just have different cards in them. So if you ever come to the Dice Tower Library, you can check out any of those boxes and you have a full game of Dominion.
Duel of Ages 2 wasn't checked out, by the way.
Well, Duel of Ages 3 is coming out soon, so...
Yeah, that's the reason. And Moonraker's got checked out 8 times.
Sheriff of Nottingham was checked out. Well, actually, that's 9 times. I'm reading the wrong side of the thing here. Nidavellir, only 8. Which seems low, actually, because Nidavellir is one of those games that's great at a con. If you're like, I don't know what to play. We got 5 people. What do we do? Nidavellir. Straight up.
Wayfarers of the South Tigris got checked out 8 times. It was on the Hot Games
table. It was on the Hot Games table.
Yeah. But I don't think that one's just making a big of a splash necessarily, but it's getting a solid following.
All right, so the Azul games were checked out a lot. And we've come up to 2 of them that were checked out 8 times. Mm-hmm. We have Master Chocolatier and Queen's Garden, which I'm kind of surprised about the chocolate one. Because it's literally just Azul, but it's chocolate. I guess the chocolate attracts people.
Isn't there the backside of the tiles behave differently? I wonder if people wanted to see what that.
Yeah, but it's a very minor change.
But if I was at a convention, if I liked Azul, I would check it out just to see hey, is this worth buying for the backsides of the tiles?
Yeah, and even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Queen's Garden one, other people seem to like that one. It is a couple of years old now. Master Chocolatier is the newest one. I fully expect there to be more Azuls as the years go by. Oh, this new game, this little game that we played here, that Valbara.
Yeah, that's cool to see that one get checked out 9 times.
I did not rate this one. 8.5. I like this one a lot. This is kind of I meant to play this with Eric.
Oh.
Because I wanted to see if he would like this better than Citadels, because it feels like a successor to Citadels.
A little cleaned up, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Lacrimosa was checked out 9 times. I wonder, like that's a good amount of checkouts. I wonder if it helps having the DeVere booth right there. They had a giant Lacrimosa sign.
That's true.
But also the fact that it's a really good game.
Also, get on board. Why is his name? Oh, that's the New York London one.
Yeah, that's the Make a Bus route. Grand Austria Hotel 9 times. That's a game with staying power, man.
Yeah, it is. And so is Dream Home. Dream Home came out in 2016.
Wow, and it's like such a good family game. That's cool. That's cool to see.
Well, okay, so we have said that some of the Lacerda games have not got checked out, but Bot Factory got checked out. Now, that is brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play Bot Factory?
At the convention?
No, have you played it at all?
Yeah, Camille and I reviewed it.
What did you give it?
I think I gave an 8.5. She gave a 9.
I guess I need to play this then.
It's pretty slick. Yeah, it would be worth playing. Yeah, and that's one that I could see people pulling out because it has some of those Lacerda feels, but it's definitely a more approachable game. Joao Martins was the co-designer on that one.
So Blood on the Clock Tower was checked out only 9 times. I can 100% guarantee you it was played more than 9 times. I'm not sure it was ever stopped being played.
There was, the loud big group games room pretty much had 2 games of it going at the 2 corners of it constantly.
There was almost no other games played in there, right? It was just Blood on the Clock Tower.
I think so.
I think someone tried to get a game of 2 Rooms and a Boom, and maybe someone played Werewolf. Don't quote me on that, but it was definitely Blood on the Clock Tower.
Hey, Caesar's Empire, my game of the year last year, that got checked out 9 times. Only one of those was me.
And if you'd like to say that me and Joey are wrong, Beast got checked out 9 times. That's it. 7 Wonders Duel. There was a lot of 2-player games being checked out of the library. All right, the game that Camilla really likes, Trailblazer, was checked out 10 times. There's a lot of Trailblazers, so let me be clear. Trailblazer, the John Muir, the JM Trail.
The John Muir Trail.
Here's one that surprised me, though, being checked out 10 times, and that's Tokyo Highway. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with that. I just put on my dexterity list. Look at that. Beautiful. Now the car, nothing's moving in this picture, but
still going with that. Too Many Bones. 10 checkouts.
That's crazy to me because that game is so much work to play. I mean, it's a good game, but wow.
Cloudspire was 5. Just started thinking about chip theory games, but yeah.
This is another one that surprised me. The Taverns of Tiefenthal. This is from 2019. It's 4 years old, and it was played 10 times.
Yeah, people still like that one. That's interesting because, Wolfgang Warsch, man, like that year, those 2 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, my gosh. He came out with so many successful games. And this one was successful, and clearly people still enjoy playing it. I didn't love it.
I didn't either, but hey. People are playing it. Okay, still 10 times. So here's one that's brand new. And we haven't even reviewed it yet. It just got in there at the last second. That's the new Marvel Dagger. I know several people at the studio, not me, have played it. Roy's played it. Z's played it.
I've played it.
You've played it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of scared away by the length of the game. It says 180 minutes. They don't even give a range.
Yeah. No, when Roy and I played it 2-player, it was under the 3 hours. It's probably 2.5.
That's still pretty long.
Still pretty long. Also, I was learning it. So, yeah, kind of the Eldritch Horror feels to it. You know what I mean? You're interested the whole time. But
no, that's fine. And again, so Lost Cities was checked out 10 times. Wow.
There were a lot of 2-player games. You're right. Spirit Island, 10 times. Call that the Cleghorn effect.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's no other reason people like Spirit Island.
Ranked 11. It's about to hit the top 10 at Board Game Geek, I think. Libertalia was checked out a lot, which I was, again, surprised at because I was not expecting this one to do as well.
Mm-hmm. It helps that it's still Libertalia, you know.
It is. Dune Imperium Big Box was checked out 10 times.
Meaning that the other one was checked out more.
That one is coming up.
Yeah. Because, that's in the sets of games, the combining the two.
Actually, why am I not seeing it?
It's on the family set.
Oh, I know
sets
where the
of games.
family is, but where's the other Dune Imperium that should have shown up on here?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, that number's wrong then.
Huh, that is weird.
That would be a 2, not a 3.
You're right.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Still played a lot. Dune Imperium played 10 times, the big box. Dice Throne Season 1 was played 10 times. I'm actually considering, I wonder what y'all would think of this. If you're coming to the library, I'm considering getting rid of those big boxes, the seasons, and putting a bunch of small boxes in just so they're easier for people to check out. Because those big boxes weigh a ton. So if anyone, give me your thoughts on that if you like Dice Throne. Because we have the Marvel ones, they're in smaller boxes. But Season 1 and Season 2 also come in a bunch of small boxes. That's how Unmatched works.
Right, but we have the big chunk ones for those two. Yeah.
Death May Die, Cthulhu Death May Die hit 10 plays.
Nice. No, that's good.
Yeah, it's one of the highest CMON ones in here. And Architects is still doing well.
Architects, the West Kingdom, yeah.
Yeah, can you do a real quick search for West Kingdom?
Paladins was 6.
Paladins was 6.
Viscounts was 3.
Uh-huh.
And then, Architects at 10.
Wow, that's definitely a sliding scale. Now do North Seas. I already know. I don't even think I have I only think I have Raiders in the library, so I don't know why I said that. What's the new one?
Wayfarers, we already said was.
Yeah, you're right, but that doesn't
9.
count. Okay, so interesting. So Architects it's Architects, Paladins, and Viscounts. Mike Delicio, I told you I was right on that. Okay. All right, 11 times. This one was checked out a lot. 11 times. But I saw people playing the new Star Wars Clone Wars. The pandemic Star Wars, if you will. And Ares Expedition was checked out, Terraforming Mars. And then this one, me and Chris were talking about this one because I had first thought it was Starship Catan. It's Starship Captains from CGE was checked out 11 times.
I know someone asked about Star Wars, the deck building game. We'll get to that.
Yeah, because now, I don't want to read through this entire list because we could at this point read through everything on page 1 here because we're at 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s. It sounds like I'm just counting up. But once you get to after 25, then the numbers spread out a little bit more. So I'm just looking at this entire page as a whole here. Actually, I think let's not talk about the whole page. Let's just go to the top 10.
Okay.
That way, kind of it leads all these games that are possibilities in the top 10.
So.
Oh yeah, you got a pen?
I don't.
All right, well, just remember it goes. Actually, it's not in the top 10 then.
Well, yeah, not Dune Imperium, but then this one would be actually. If you're counting all of
We're going to give you the actual top 10, and then we're going to give you a modified top 10.
Yeah.
Because some games have multiple copies and things like that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alrighty, number 10. No surprise here. Still Wingspan. Still being played. Now, Wingspan had 2 copies in the library, I believe. Yes.
I think it still does, yeah.
Mostly, even if it wasn't popular, I'd be struggled because I had 3 copies, and going from 3 to 2 made me sad because I have them so upgraded.
And different upgrades in each.
Right. Like if you played Wingspan at Dice Tower East, you might have seen the really cool little eggs and stuff like that. I missed the response to my question about the.
Oh, right, the different size boxes for dice throwing and stuff.
I don't think anyone said. All right, never mind. Wasted my time. All right, so that's Wingspan, number 10. Number 9. Where are we at? Okay, this one gets a bonus because it was also in the Hot Games room, but Thunder Road Vendetta. We better check the components on this one.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. Thunder Road Vendetta, fantastic game. Man, this was... I don't maybe people brought in their sets, but if you want to play Mad Max the game, well, that's a great picture.
Oh, that's excellent, yeah.
I'm going to give this a thumbs up here, Raphael. What a great picture. I like that picture a lot.
That's great. I mean, and it feels like the game, too. Just chaotic and sprawling and explosion-y.
All right, so that's number 9, Thunder Road. Now, this next one...
This one's a surprise to me.
It is.
Like, it's not surprising in many ways, but also, wow.
I'm glad we went and got this. Didn't we go pick this up?
I think you had to go purchase it, yeah.
Yeah, we picked it up from Target. Disney Animated. I've not played it yet, and it's, doesn't have a ton of ratings on Board Game Geek. But this was, I'm sorry, we should say, Wingspan and Thunder Road and Disney Animated. I don't even know these are all the same. These are all tied for number 8, actually. Disney Animated. Okay, so actually that's true.
27 checkouts.
Disney Animated is number 10.
Okay.
No, Wingspan is number 10.
Because there's two
because
copies.
There was 2 copies. Then Disney Animated is number 9 because there's only 1 copy, and Thunder Road Vendetta is 8 because there's a copy in Hot Games, so it was working against it.
So there you go. It gets a boost.
But Disney Animated, I've heard that this game is. People are like, yeah, it's better than I expected. Was basically the thing. Everyone's like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's a co-op game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mike's review's going up this Sunday.
That's right. So check it out. Number 6, 28 times Quacks of Quedlinburg. 2018. It is now 5 years old, and the pieces, we have to replace the pieces every other con now.
I'll speak for Wendy really briefly when she says that this is one of her least favorite games to maintain for the library. The pieces, the pieces just wear and everything. Sometimes pieces go missing, and she's like, what do you mean you lost a whole book, like lost a potion book, like what?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Y'all don't take care of my quacks, but
it gets played so much.
We could use the coin capsules because they would never wear out. They're just not as nice as those other pieces.
Yeah.
It remind me when we're at Gen Con, I need to pick up another set of those pieces.
It gets played so much. And so consistently. Cruise, East, Retreat. This game's being played all the time.
All right, number 6, and this one I think is because it was nominated for the Kenner Spiel, but also there's a Kickstarter was up for the expansion, Planet Unknown.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is weird because I really love this game, right? And I remember talking about it last year at Gen Con and stuff. I mean, it was popular, but it wasn't getting that much buzz. The buzz has definitely grown on Planet Unknown.
Which is great. I love seeing that in a game.
Oh, I'm with it too.
Yeah, there's so much where the hype is huge and then it fades, and I love seeing the opposite direction.
On the flip side, number 5 really kind of has me surprised here because I think this game is great. Trekking Through History. I gave it an 8. Maybe I should raise that to an 8.5 because I really do like the game. But this came out last year. What are the other trekking games?
Ooh,
I thought I saw Trekking Through the National Parks was checked out like 5 times maybe. Let me see if I can remember.
Trekking the World was 5, and then...
I don't know if I have Trekking National Parks in the library. That's what it is.
Oh, you might not. Yeah, there's only 2 of them.
Yeah, well, that's because I guess I just didn't put in a library initially. Once I played Trekking Through History, I hunted down the Trekking Through the World. Well, those 2 are probably good enough.
I think the thing is that the first 2 games are more similar to each other. So I know Z's said, probably only need one of them. But this one is so much more different from the others.
33 times! 33 times! That's a lot.
It's a lot for a game that's such a gateway game or a welcoming game like this.
Then Foundations of Rome comes in at number 4. This gets a small boost because just to check it out of the library is a lot of work. It's a huge box. 34 times. That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm willing to admit when I'm not in the flow of the public zeitgeist. Right?
People like pulling it out and playing it. It also looks beautiful, so there's that. But there's lots of big games. Small World's not being pulled out 34 times.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. All right. Number 3, and this is actually number 1. But on checkouts, Earth is number 3. But like I said, there were 2 games in the Hot Games room that were always being played.
42 checkouts for the 2 copies of Earth.
Earth is just crazy good, and people like it. And it's at $2.25 in Board Game Geek. I say it hits the top 100 by next year.
I would have originally given it about an 8, I think, score-wise. But then the more that I taught it to people, it's kind of a fun teach.
It's so easy to teach. I like easy teaches.
So yeah, it's moved up for me.
Number 2.
This does not surprise me.
Boop. Boop. So Boop 43 times. Earth was 42 times. Boop was 43 times.
Hilarious.
We also had 2 copies of Earth in the library.
We did, right?
So there was 4 copies floating around. So they got played 42 times, checked out, and at least 42 times in the hot games, right? Because checking in and out is a process. Hot games are always in play. So I figure Earth was played close to 100 times, probably.
Right.
Boop, though, 42 times. And I only had 1 copy of this game. And people kept playing it. It's quick. It's easy.
And you know that every time it got checked out, it probably got played 2-3 times, right? Set it up. Let's do it again. It's that short of a game.
All right, everybody in the chat. Time to make your guesses for number 1. We've taken out 9 of the popular games. So it's time to guess. What do you think number 1 is?
While they do that, you want to discuss some of these groupings, these sets of games?
Oh, yeah, we'll do that. By the way, number 1 was checked out 49 times. Okay, so Wendy put together sets of games. So Clank as a set was checked out 42 times. Actually, can you pull that up? Let's see what the specifics on Clank was.
Right, that's a very similar family of games. But
So
here we
Clank
go.
was checked out. Clank Catacombs was checked out 21 times. Normal Clank 13 times, and then Clank in Space 8 times. That's pretty impressive.
What I find impressive is that this is one of those series where I feel like there's a pretty good amount of people who prefer each of them. You know, like a lot of people say, oh, King of Tokyo, King of New York. Most people kind of lean one direction. There's definitely the few people who prefer New York, but I feel like you hear pretty evenly people like each of the different ones.
Then Dice Throne. Let's pull up the Dice Throne stats. Dice Throne was checked out a total of 36 times.
Oops.
Okay, so Season 1, 10 times. Season 2, 4 times. I guess Season 1's more popular. Then Marvel, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Loki, Spider-Man, 10 times. The Avengers, 8 times, which you need another one to check it out.
So that might be a little bit...
I'm actually going to probably pull it from the library, because I talked to at least one group who were confused that it was not its own game.
Yeah. Do you think you should put... I mean, it got checked out 8 times.
But I think people are looking for Dice Throne. It's not... If you don't know it and you're like, oh, let's play Dice Throne, that can throw you off.
I guess. I saw a lot of people checking it out intentionally, though. Maybe a sticker on it that says, hey, this is an expansion only.
Yeah, maybe. Something. Black Widow versus Doctor Strange, only 1 time. Santa versus Krampus, 3 times. Wait, what's the other one?
Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel.
That one wasn't checked out.
I guess not.
I saw the new trailer for the Marvels movie. I'm still not sold on it. We'll see.
It's been a while since I've seen a trailer for a movie that felt like a made-for-TV special.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't want to. All right. By the way, people guessing. I'll give you a clue. It was not on the hot games table. Okay. Then we have Dune Imperium with. Azul 33 times. Let's see the breakdown on Azuls.
I keep doing that.
Oh, actually, we did this already, didn't we? Chocolatier 8, Queen's Garden 8, Regular Azul 7, Sintra 7, Summer Pavilion 3. That's a pretty even spread, except Summer Pavilion, which is weird because Summer Pavilion is one of the easiest ones to play, I think, in a sense.
Yeah, kind of.
Sintra's the meanest. All right, then we have Unmatched.
Oh, my goodness.
This one's probably the biggest spread. Brains and Brawn, that's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, that's the newest one, I think.
Redemption Row is Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
For King and Country is Black Panther, Black Widow.
So that's 9, 6, and 5 for the Marvel sets, which are the newest. Also, they're Marvel.
Then Cobble and Fog 4, Teen Spirit also Marvel 4. Then Jurassic Park 3 and Battle of Legends 2.
And that's Jurassic Park, Sattler versus Rex. Also, some of these are combined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually that's probably all of the Jurassic Park stuff in the same box?
It is.
Okay.
All right, then just a couple other things to comment. We already mentioned Dune Imperium got 24 checks out, the Ticket to Ride series as a whole, 29. The Unlocks. Well, I'm actually curious about this. Let's do the Unlock series. 25 times. This makes me happy because we have all the Unlocks. And it's a pretty even spread. Legendary Adventures was 6. Then the Kids, 5.
That makes me happy. Unlock
Star
Kids is
Wars,
so good.
3. Time was 3. Escape, 3. Heroic, 3. Mystery, 3. Exotic, 2. Epic, 1. And Secret, 1. I wonder if some of those ones that were played 3, if some people played them all.
I wonder, yeah. I wonder if someone came and played multiple sets too. Let's see. Curious about Villainous.
Space Base got played 19 times. All right, Chris is looking up Villainous. I'll move this out. We're back to number 1 here.
Yeah, pretty even spread between Disney, mostly Disney and then Marvel and stuff.
Number 1 with 49 checkouts is Flamecraft. Flamecraft was checked out. Well, there's 2 copies in the library. Very, very popular. This game is just on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so games that a lot of people guessed Heat for the final one. Heat had 25 checkouts, which is no slouching matter. That's just one underneath the top 10.
Actually, so that was also the same as Star Wars deck building game. I saw people guessing that. All right, 25 checkouts.
Yeah, but Heat was on the hot games table, so again, double Heat. So I think Heat was probably played 50 times.
Yep.
Comic Hunters, 25, of course. That one's very popular because you can't get it, which makes it popular. First Rat, that makes me happy.
Yeah, 25 times.
What were other games? Ark Nova. A lot of people guessed Ark Nova. 24 times only. I say only because Ark Nova is a big game.
Yeah.
Acropolis was played 24 times. Dodo's Riding Dinos. Yes, I saw people playing this all the time. That will make Holly happy since she painted the dinosaurs. Oh, Arceus Society.
Yeah, 20, what is that, 23 checkouts?
Can you see? Oh, no, we didn't take out Ethnos.
Ethnos was checked out 4 times.
All right.
The new hotness.
Distilled. Well, Distilled was in the library. I'm looking to see. 19 times Distilled was checked out. But you know what else was checked out 19 times? Crash Octopus.
That's funny. Yeah, Tokyo Highway, Crash Octopus, and then if we ever get them. I know Mike also was carrying around the Fun Brick series from that same company, the Itten, and
yeah. Well, Viking Seesaw. Is that even in the library?
No. Interesting.
All right. Someone asked about Ra. Ra was checked out 20 times. Cat in the Box.
Cat in the Box was 11.
Yep, I see that here in the front. The same amount of times, Dice Manor and Dice Minor. That's hilarious.
Huh. You're right. Aquatica was also 11 times. Hey, Scarface 1920, 12 times.
No, people stop talking about Meltscape. Meltscape is not in the library.
You don't know that.
Encyclopedia. That was in the library, yes, but this one has had a pretty quick fall from grace. 4 times. How many for War of the Ring Collector's Edition? Sadly, I don't have War of the Rings Collector's Edition in the library. I would love to, but I just don't have that one. It's a pretty expensive game. I have a hard time dropping $1,500 on a single game.
Yeah.
That's kind of hard to...
Boring, ugly War of the Ring was 4 times. War of the Ring card game was 5.
Crokinole was played a ton, but we don't know because it was just we weren't keeping track of that.
Ooh, Massive Darkness 2. That's a good question.
No, you're looking at the wrong one. 9 times. I was glad to see that one get played. Bad Company. I feel like that one would be here on the front page.
Yep, 18 times. Bad Company 18.
Oh, sorry, my thumb was on top of it. Nice. That's my excuse. Bad Company, which was one less than Wonderland's War.
Wonderland's War 19. Vegetable Stock 19 times.
What was the highest number of games checked out by one person? I don't know if we could get that info.
We were tinkering with it. We couldn't find a way to do it cleanly, unfortunately. I know someone actually asked me about that before.
I don't know if I even want to push that because people will then be doing weird things like check in, check out. I don't want that to be a thing.
Correct, yeah.
Marvel United. Now, this one does not get played as much as it should, honestly. Especially since we have that Paint It.
So combined, all the United stuff shows 14 checkouts.
Right. We have the big box, the X-Men, and then the base box. Mm-hmm. That's too bad. Like I said, they're really fun, and they're all painted. So check them out.
Just outside the top 10 that I found interesting, Splendor Duel, 26 checkouts. Turing Machine, 26 checkouts.
Yes, I saw that getting played a lot.
Yeah.
Funkoverse, I don't think still has been checked out. Has it?
It was not checked out, not a single time.
Guys, but the love of all holy, I put so much work into building that Funkoverse thing. Someone play it. Play it at a con.
I'm sorry, you chose poorly between Unmatched and Funko.
No kidding. No kidding.
Unmatched, like one of our most played sets of things.
All right. Unfathomable. I doubt that was played much.
3 times.
All right, never mind. Three is a decent amount. Lost Ruins of Arnak. Oh, that's a good question.
Battlestar Galactica was 4, by the way.
And I saw it being played also by some people who brought Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, absolutely. Lost Ruins of Arnak was checked out 12 times. So that's, front page worthy.
Yeah, but that's a big change.
Yeah, because it outperformed Dune in the last few conventions that we did.
And Dune has now taken the top spot. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. What's the oldest game that has good checkouts? I have no idea.
I mean, probably Ra.
Yeah, well, Ra's has a brand new version that was checked out 20 times. I don't know. Hickory Dickory's checked out 16 times. That's nice.
Wow, that's a lot.
I'm looking at the front page to see old games. Targi was checked out 13 times. That's pretty old. Yeah, most of the other stuff is, people say old. It's hard to say old.
Blitzkrieg 12, Caesar Roman 20 is 15, so that's cool. That's not old.
Oh, Root. Root's a good one. Oh, I can see right here. 19 times.
Yeah.
19 times Root.
Someone asked about Rising Sun. That was 3 times. Right underneath Rising 5, also 3 times.
Someone asked about the Tiny Epic. So I said a lot of them weren't played. Let's give you the rundown on Tiny Epic series. It didn't even make our top franchises.
Let's see.
Oh, no, it did. There's 11 times. Okay, so.
Oh, yeah. So here's the ones that were played. Galaxies for 3, Quest for 3.
The best 2.
Yeah. Dinosaurs for 2. Actually, people say that one's really good, too.
I like it.
Zombies at 2, and then Tactics at 1. Meaning that...
Defenders, my special giant version of Galaxies didn't get played. Kingdoms, Mechs, and Western weren't played. All right, Rising Sun.
3 times.
All right, Cosmic Encounter.
What is this filtered by?
I checked out Cosmic Encounter. There's 2 copies of it.
So 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everdell. Oh, that's a good question. We had my little Everdell. Everdell was 16 times. Do I have 2 copies of Everdell? Maybe just 1.
No. Just the 16. And then Far Shore wasn't in the library, right? We just got that into recently.
Right. I saw a few people playing it, but they brought their own copies.
Yes.
Western. I guess Great Western Trail. So we had the new Argentina one. I think that one got played. That one got played more.
Argentina was 11, and the original boring one 6.
I actually don't even know the differences between them.
I don't know either. There's a New Zealand one coming out, Tom, with sheep. Sheep!
I am excited. Brass. Oh, that's true. We have 2 copies of Brass.
So Birmingham combined 14, and then Lancashire 2.
14 is still a lot for a big, heavy-ish game like Brass. It's not that. It's not like a Lacerda heavy, but it's still a pretty big game.
It's involved. It's not short. Yeah, it's quite a bit of a teach.
Aqua Garden. That's true. We don't have a copy of the next game for night. Aqua Garden was 9 times. The Ostia, we don't have a copy because it's really expensive. I wasn't able to get one. Space Base, we actually have the stats on that one here. 19 times between the 2 games. There's 2 of them in there.
Oh, Ankh, of course. People want to round out the trilogy. Ankh was checked out 5 times.
Do we know how many games are in the library? I just make up numbers when people ask me. I want to say it's 2,200, but...
Shoot.
Can't you add...
I guess, yeah, I can add the checked out ones is 1396, and the non-checked out was 788.
So that's 2,200 essentially, especially when we add in all the
dexterity games.
dexterity games and some of the hot games, which are technically part of the library but weren't in the thing.
Yep.
Okay, so 2,200 about. Tricarion. I don't know.
Wow. Someone asked about Project L 15 times.
Yep.
Well, let's look up Tricarion twice. Right next
Is there a way to see which publisher had the most checkouts? Not really.
Yeah, that'd be hard. It's hard to make the sorted database, right? The relational database, because publisher information is sticky, right? And if you've ever looked on Board Game Geek, you'll know this, right? You say, oh, this publisher, this small publisher from Argentina I've never heard of. What games are theirs? You open it up and it says Scythe. You're like, oh, they're the distributor, if locally for that country. So it's so hard.
Someone asked about Ready, Set, Bet. It was checked out 18 times. I also played it 7 times, my copy that I brought with me.
7?
I did.
That's true. I saw you pretty often.
Well, I mean, what I did was I limited myself to twice a day, and then on Sunday, because I don't want to lose my voice.
That's fair.
I don't know if anyone was at Dice Tower West. But then on Sunday, I only played it once. So I played it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't play it on Wednesday because we were busy. One of the days I didn't play it.
Yeah. Someone asked about Merchant's Cove and also Merchants of the Dark Road, both 7 times. I don't know why. That's funny to see that. Just right next to each other.
Mysterium. Oh, that's a good question. Someone asked about Revive, too, because Revive was in the hot games area. Oh, here it is. Revive was 12. And that's including it, we have a hot one in the hot games.
Oh, yeah, that was... I don't think we said the hot game. Mysterium was 6. Obscurio was 2.
Chicken... well,
That wasn't in the
Chicken's
library,
not in
right?
the library. And unless I'm reading the rules really badly, it will never be in the library. So we did Revive, right? Did you look at Federation?
Oh, I didn't. You're right. Federation.
11 times. And that's a long game, too.
Yep.
Okay. I was just happy. Stranger Things Upside Down got 16. A lot of people say. Merchants of Venus. Yes, we must look this up. If we looked up Cosmic.
Merchant of Venus.
I think it's Merchants.
Merchants. I'm going to guess that was 0. Do we have a copy in the library?
Do a search for Venus.
Oh, no, Merchant of Venus. It is singular, Tom. Yeah, 0 checkouts.
Also, Eric did bring his own copy and play it several times, I think, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Dwarf Romantic, I know that one. I see it right here, 21 times.
Woo!
And Challengers? Oh, that's interesting.
Someone about Jerusalem was checked out 4 times.
Challengers is 12 times.
Challenges is 12. Endless Winter, someone asked. 12.
Someone asked about Bamboo. I saw that here on the list somewhere.
Bamboo, 12.
Yeah. That was being demoed by DeVere.
Atlantis Rising, 11.
And Mechs vs. Minions.
Oh, I just saw that a second ago. Mechs vs. Minions was
7.
7.
All right, folks, that's the last of those we're doing because it's already 11:10. We don't want to make this go too long. Any quick last questions about the con and stats itself? Otherwise, we got to get going because we got to prep for the Summer Spectacular, which starts Monday. A lot of stuff going on.
Simultaneous to that, we're prepping for Gen Con.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I'm working on Gen Con. Chris is working on Summer Spectacular.
Yeah. How many times did Roy check out Challengers?
I know the answer to that. 0. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Thank you I want to say a big thank you to everyone who helped in the library, checking the games in and out. I think we have a nice system going now. I'm still pretty happy with the library. It's impossible to build a library, I think, with every game checked out. So let's say I got rid of every game that was checked out 0 times. Mm-hmm. I bet there would still be games checked out 0 times.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The library is very good size, but also really well taken care of. Wendy puts a lot of work into it. Labeling bags, stuff like that. Just organizing it, keeping it up. That's pretty much all she's doing now, is going through the triage list of broken, missing, messed up things. But no, it was a great convention. I do want to also say, the volunteers.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Helped so much make it a really good experience. So my personal thanks to
Benjamin
them too.
said, I'd give it an adjusted top 10. When it comes down to it, there really wasn't an adjusted one. I was looking at these families, but none of the families, I think, are like Clank is 42 times, but that's not top 10 because the Clanks are very different games.
I think Unmatched, right? Wouldn't
Unmatched is close, but for all I know, those got, again,
they might have got checked out multiple.
Yeah, who knows?
As a cluster, yeah, because Unmatched would have with its 33.
Chad says, is there any glaring changes you need to make to the library? Not any glaring changes. I think one of the biggest changes, I'm slowly phasing out giant boxes. We'll keep a few that get played, but big, giant, huge games that never get played, a lot of dungeon crawls. I mean, there's a lot of games in this one playlist that are taking up half a shelf. That's too much wasted space. Yeah. And we might cut some of the games down to from their big box version to the normal. Escape would be a good example of that. I think I'm going to go just get Escape. I don't even know what we played.
Escape the Curse of the Temple, sure.
Yeah.
That's really the hard thing, is that those big boxes are almost more intimidating to go check out.
Are we going to track hot game plays in the future? Never. And I'll tell you why. Because people playing the hot games would hate it, and the people who have to keep track would hate it. You'd have to leave a little thing there that says, please check when you get a game. And if I was playing a game, I'd be like, are you kidding me? I'm not here to do homework.
Right.
Like, why am I? And some people are like, I would gladly do it. People wouldn't. Or they check extra ones. Or it would just be a mess.
It really would. I don't know how you could do it without monitoring.
And no one wants to do that. Because the hot games room was open 24 hours. Mm-hmm. No. I mean, we go from empirical evidence or just, what we can see there. And we saw all the hot games were played a lot. Like, there was no, I'm not talking about Star Wars Rebellion and the upgraded one, Beyond the Sun.
Yeah.
But the other ones, there was always tables full. The least played, from what I saw, was the video game champion, because a lot of people didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And then the South Tigers one, I think. Maybe Federation and Revive, because those are also big games. You got to get into those. Mm-hmm. But Earth was always full. Like, I don't know I ever saw both tables empty, ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Earth slammed. Thunder Road
was always full. Heat was pretty close to being always full.
Last Light was pretty close.
Sure.
People were always asking, do you think I can get a game? I'm like, I don't know. Go hover around, sorry.
Yeah, the problem with Last Light was that we didn't want to shackle Roy to that table.
Yeah.
But people kept asking, but...
Oh, man. But yeah, Heat. Oh, my gosh. And Heat it was one of the few games we set up for 6 players. So that one was constantly played and usually at max player count.
I wonder if there's any trends in games played much more at Dice Tower East or Dice Tower West than the other. There is, but it's hard to tell because they're also at different times of the year.
Okay.
Like, Earth was just barely out at Dice Tower West. So that you could compare a little bit. But it's gotten so much buzz since Dice Tower West, it's obviously going to get played more here. Mm-hmm. Why games that had a buzz and then the buzz started dying out because new games come and play. I don't know that we could really compare them.
Yeah, it's hard. And for example, Mosaic was a hot game that was slammed at West, but now it's cooled down to its where it's going to be. So I don't know if it would have been that successful as a hot game table per se.
Did Dice Tower crew get to play many games? Was everyone too busy with the con? Well, I know that Sharon and Camilla did not get to play many games. They were really, really busy.
Yeah.
But I think the rest of us, and I did a lot of stuff, but I was able to play a decent amount of games. Like I said, I played 7 games of Ready, Set, Bet. I played Cosmic Encounter. I played, I always get there early in the morning. I played a couple games each day doing that. I played a game of Magical Athlete. How many times was that checked out, by the way?
Oh, I'll look that up. This year, because everything was more set, 8 times for Magical Athlete. Everything was set from last year.
Yes.
Last year, the volunteers were all new, so there was just more involvement from.
Our volunteers. I mean, our support staff, support crew.
I'm sorry, you're right. Support crew.
Support crew. They are amazing.
Yeah,
this year such good ones.
And we had majority of people who were support crew last year carried over to this year. It was phenomenal. The library ran itself when you would go there to check on people, and they're like, "Nope, we got it." It's so great. So yeah, we made a more conscious effort, like the rest of the crew, to actually play a few more games. It worked out really well.
Which is good, because we have to get that out of our system, because that will not happen at Gen Con. We get to play a couple games at Gen Con, maybe. Like over the course of Gen Con, I might play 3 games, if I'm lucky. You'll play more than me, maybe. Last Gen Con, I played like 8 games, but that's because I discovered Ready, Set, Bet, and 6 of those games were Ready, Set, Bet. But other than that, actually, we did play a few more last year. But that's because we were kind of like, not stuck in a hotel, but it felt like we were stuck in a hotel. This year, I don't think that'll be as big of an issue.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, last year at Gen Con, I went to the Hot Games, like the BGG puts together that Hot Games room. We checked it out just for a little bit, and it was fun. Chatting with people was basically like the best part there.
Alrighty, folks. Well, thanks so much for watching. This is it for Stats. This is our last official live thing this week. We'll see you next time. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Chris Yi.
Once again, thanks to Wendy, Camilla, Sharon, and everyone else who helped put this together.
See you at the Summer Spectacular.
Woo!
You have to hit the output.
Oh, that's right. Roy's not here. There we go.